Most of Week 6 is in the books, and it started with the Bears and Commanders back on Thursday night. It is important to know this is the start of bye weeks, and we had 4 teams on byes this week, which were the Raiders, Texans, Titans, and Lions. But with the Commanders and Bears, this game in a lot of ways went about as well as expected. It was a low-scoring game, and there were a lot of simply not great plays. And I think the biggest takeaway for the Bears is while your team will have a top 5 or 6 pick in next year's draft, I don't think CJ Stroud or Bryce Young is the answer. Justin Fields doesn't have a lot to work with, and the Bears' number one offseason priority has to be to get better weapons. Period. Because whether that next quarterback is in 5+ years because Justin works out, or if it's next year because Justin doesn't work out, the situation around the quarterback is critical, and the Bears and Seahawks this year show this. Everyone got their jokes in about Geno writing back and the whole 9 there, but he has been a good player this year. He's been in the league since 2013 and now has legitimate weapons. Credit to him because he's also made some insane plays, but when you surround a quarterback with weapons and truly maximize what they can do, you see it pay off like Geno is in Seattle right now. And for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, they would not be maximizing what they could do at the NFL level with less weapons on the Bears than what they each currently have in college. And yes, to be fair on the other side of this, Justin missed a few easy throws and has throughout the course of his career, but get better weapons. For Washington, I think they're going to be a 6-7 win team, and these are the games they're going to win. They're not going to beat Philly or anyone seriously contending, but they will beat the Bears, and I do think both teams are on to 2023. 49ers Falcons is the first game we will discuss from the 1 o'clock slate, and there are a few things to say on each side. For the visiting 49ers, they were banged up heading into the game and could not get the run game going. Not only that, but they were in a hole early, as a Jeff Wilson fumble was very unfortunate timing and put them down 14-0 before the first quarter was over. While this is a frustrating loss, the season is by no means over. Not at all. Their next 2 games are home against the Chiefs and at the Rams. Those are put up or shut up games. For the Falcons, this is a team everyone, myself included, thought would be a top 5 draft pick team and contending for CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. They may have more wins that would put them out of that position, as crazy as that sounds. The Falcons' run game is for real, and Marcus Mariota was efficient on Sunday, and they had a well-deserved win. Jags Colts is up, and this is an insanely tough loss for the Jags, period. The Colts had the least amount of points scored through 5 weeks out of any team in the NFL, including a Week 2 shutout loss to Jacksonville. A win would have put the Jags at 3-3, and for as much losing that's taken place in the city over the team for the past decade, aside from 2017, the thing to remember is they are a rebuilding team. 3 straight one-score losses are maddening, and I get it, but Trevor was efficient and the run game was good. Matt Ryan had 0 run game on Sunday and set the Colts record for completions in a come-from-behind win. Do I think the Colts are playoff bound now because of beating the Jags, who have had back-to-back number 1 overall picks? No, I do not, but it was a great team win for Indy. The Who Dey versus Who Dat game is up, which is Bengals and Saints for those that may not know, and it was a great offensive performance from Cincinnati in Week 6, but I don't want to overreact and say they are for sure back, because they beat a team without their number 1 corner and a team led by Andy Dalton with his top 3 receivers out. But it was good to see Jamar have undoubtedly his best game of the season, and for Joe Burrow to show remnants of the 2021 Burrow that everyone was, understandably, excited about. They gave up nearly 230 yards rushing, and a win is a win, but it is not all sunshine and rainbows in Cincinnati. The Saints are a 2-4 team, and I think they are done in a lot of ways, but the biggest thing to take away from the Saints and them under head coach Dennis Allen, they do not quit no matter what. Patriots-Browns is up, and last week I said the Broncos may be in the worst position in all of the NFL, but Cleveland may top them. They are 2-4 and have lost to Bailey Zappi, Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco, and yes, Justin Herbert. A lot of Browns fans are insanely pissed, and rightfully so. 2-4 in the AFC without your starting quarterback coming back for weeks is a long gap, period. I saw a tweet that I thought summed the Browns seasons up perfectly, and it said, "We're putting all of our season's hope into a guy who hasn't played in 2 years," end quote. The Browns are done. As for the Patriots, I underestimated them heading into this season and credit the hell out of them for the way they've played recently. I was very concerned after the Week 3 game against the Ravens and they gave up 37 points at home, but they've responded and then some since. The Patriots quarterback situation admittedly concerns me, but the defense is very much real. Vikings Dolphins is next, and the Vikings are 5-1 heading into their Week 7 bye. This was a hell of a start for Minnesota, and not in a good way, and they were in a lot of ways lucky to be leading at half. Good teams win, and they miraculously pulled this out. It was a true punt fest in the third quarter, but Justin Jefferson notched his fourth 100-yard game out of 6. The Viking defense also stepped up in a big way, and Zadarius Smith had his best game as a Viking. As for Miami, the quarterback situation obviously limited them, but Tyreek and Jalen Waddle each went over 100 yards, and Tyreek nearly went for 180 and was putting on a show offensively. The Dolphins' penalties were killer, especially early on when they could have set the tone. They were driving not once, but twice, and had the chance to go up 2 scores, and you could argue they should have went up 2 scores. They're now a 3-3 team, friend from the 3-0 team that beat the Bills. It's been a roller coaster downhill since. Bucs Steelers is up, and wow, what a game this was. This truly may be the most Pittsburgh Steelers win in existence, and I mean that in the best possible way. The Southwestern Pennsylvania gritty, tough W over the Tom Brady-led Bucs without Minka, without TJ Watt, without Pat Freiermuth, and held them to 18 points and came out on top. They held them to less than 3 yards per carry, and everyone expected the Bucs to come in and roll over an injured Steelers team. As for Tampa, they have problems. The offensive line is going to hurt this team down the stretch, and while I'm not ready to count them out or to bet against a Tom Brady team, this is very concerning, because these are games you never see a Tom Brady-led team lose, and that's the games they should win. But I am very, very worried about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jets, Packers. As most of you guys know, I am a Vikings fan, so I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this. But the Jets are playing their asses off. I made a video about 6 months ago that said the Jets are doing everything right, and full disclosure, I didn't think they would be 4-2 through 6 games, but Breece Hall and Sauce Gardner look like absolute slam dunks of draft picks. And that doesn't mean Garrett Wilson and Jermaine Johnson aren't slam dunks, but there's a legitimate chance the Jets drafted both the offensive and defensive rookie of the year. No disrespect to Texans running back Dameon Pierce. Sure, they're probably going to lose to the Bills, but right now, who cares? They beat the big bad Packers in Lambeau by 3 scores in a game where their quarterback didn't play great. That's a huge win in itself. As for Green Bay, you're 3-3 and have lost to both New York teams in back-to-back weeks, and on your home turf in Week 6. They will win in Washington next week and improve to 4-3, but this team is not going far in the playoffs unless something major changes. They are a much, much different team from 2021 to 2022. Panthers-Rams is up, and the Carolina Panthers are a mess. I didn't think even with the firing of Matt Rule they would win this game, as the Rams are a more talented roster than the Panthers, but the Robbie Anderson walking off the field mid-game because Steve Wilks kicked him out, less than 5 yards per passing attempt, and outside of Christian McCaffrey, just 54 yards of total offense. This team is bad, and there's no sugarcoating it. If they finish with the worst overall record in the league, it would not surprise me. And in any wins they have moving forward, I do think they will be very low scoring, or like their Saints win, where they have a rare 60-plus yard offensive play and a defensive touchdown. They're a bad team. As for the Rams, I don't have much to say other than they did quite literally what they were supposed to do. I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs this year for a variety of reasons, and it boils down to Matt Stafford's ball security, the lack of run game, and a poor offensive line. But for now, enjoy the win, and they're on to the bye week. Cardinals Seahawks time, and there's one thing to look forward to if you're the Cardinals, and it's DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. They dropped to 2-4 with their only wins coming over the Raiders in an awful collapse, and at Carolina, who will be battling for the number 1 overall pick. They are 0-3 at home, and I don't think their defense is good. I am under the belief Cliff Kingsbury will be fired at the end of the season, as will general manager Steve Keim. The Seahawks are 3-3 and have a good running back, shout out Kenneth Walker, and 2 good receivers in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Geno Smith has also been balling, and I do not doubt a wildcard playoff appearance from this team. I love what Seattle has going on, and eventually we will get to a whole video on them, but for a team whose future looked very much in doubt heading into the season, I like it a lot. Ravens-Giants is up. Don't think I forgot about them, but I am concerned with the Ravens at the moment. It's hard not to look at this game and see Lamar throw a ball across his body on 3rd and 6, which immediately gave the Giants the ball deep in their territory, and then the next drive, fumble the football. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into a game than this, but the Ravens were up 10 points with 7 minutes to play, and this is now Baltimore's 3rd double-digit lead blown of the season. That has resulted in a loss. The Giants are now 5-1, and good teams take advantages of mistakes like this. Good teams do. Not bad, not okay, but good teams. Brian Daboll is the guy, and there are a lot of things to clean up, like the run defense, for example. But the Giants are a good team and are thinking playoffs in what was expected to be a rebuilding year. And like we said with Seattle, there will be a full video on the Giants at some point in the near future. Okay, game of the year time between the Bills and Chiefs. This game did not disappoint. Was it as high scoring of a game as some would have liked? No, but it was still a fantastic game between 2 of the best teams in the NFL. Josh Allen threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Stephon Diggs truly made play after play after play. Patrick Mahomes also threw for over 300 yards, and Bills corner Taron Johnson made a hell of a play to seal the game. I don't think there's any true big takeaways from this game. Both teams played well, and both are 2 of the best teams in the NFL. Period. There is no doubt in my mind Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the rest of the team walked off the field on Sunday saying to themselves, we will see these guys again. And Chiefs fans were also chirping Bills fans that this loss for them is fine because they will get the win when it matters most, which of course is in January. I hope we see the Bills and Chiefs again. That's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I now ask you to please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as well as the second channel where the link is in the description. Guys, we recently hit 45,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you for the support. And like we do every video, as always, please be safe and have a great day. Love you guys.